Hi everyone, thank you for joining me. Today I'm going to talk to you about how to do a coffee enema, okay? Enema how to, today with me right now. Let's go. We're going to get right into it. If you'd like to see my other enema videos, subscribe. I'm going to create a playlist. I have one that I already made. I'll put it right here for you to go check out. But this is just for the coffee enema noob who wants to know how to do it step by step. So the first thing that you're going to want to do, a little pre-game, if you will, is to make sure that you're hydrated. If you are not properly hydrated before you do your enema, you're going to have a hard time releasing fluid. Your body will hold on to the water that you put inside of yourself if you're dehydrated. So you want to make sure you're super hydrated. Start drinking proper water the day before. I always put a pinch of salt into my water. So either Himalayan salt or Celtic salt, I put that in there with every water that I have to promote like the electrolyte production in my body. Number one, be hydrated. Number two, prepare your space. So what this means is prepare your enema, prepare your coffee, prepare your space in your bathroom. The first thing that I like to do is take clean water. So you're not going to use tap water for this. You're going to use distilled water, filtered water. We get our water from an artisan well, so that's what I use, but I still boil it first. So you're going to want to prepare your coffee. You cannot use any kind of coffee. You have to use specific enema coffee. It's organic, free of mold and toxins and pesticides, okay? They make a specific type of coffee to use as an enema. Don't you dare get Folgers or Starbucks ground coffee and try to put that up your poop shooter. If you do, don't come for me because I'm telling you no. So you're gonna prepare your coffee and it's directly on the package, but all you're gonna do is boil the water with your tablespoons of coffee and stir it frequently until I think it's about 30 minutes. And then you're going to set it aside to cool it. So what I usually do is strain it and then set it aside to cool it. It has to be at a proper temperature. You don't want to burn yourself. This is really important. I've never burned myself. Okay, so you can do it safely. Just make sure it's at the proper temperature. And then while that's cooling, you're gonna prepare your space. I am a little bougie with it. I put my yoga mat down, I put some towels down, I get a pillow, I put essential oils all over my body. Stay tuned to the end of the video and I'll give you my extra tips, things that I've done along the way that I felt have really been beneficial or in just supporting my body in the best way that I could. You're gonna wash your hands and your enema. Make sure that your enema is pristine and clean, okay? You can disinfect it and whatever. Do not use chemicals. Don't use any chemicals when you're cleaning your tubes or your little like connectors. I just soak it all in warm soapy water in the sink and I scrub it out, rinse it really well with hot water. And then what I do personally for me is I will put my enema all back together, right? Because you have to take the tubes apart and clean them and stuff. Take it, put it all back together, and then I put a couple drops of tea tree oil in the enema, and then I take my kettle, my tea kettle with boiling water, and I pour it through there so the tea tree oil and the boiling water clean the inside and the tubing, and I let it run into the bathtub. Okay, so I'll hook it on my shower, I let it run into my bathtub, and then I'll rinse it again with just regular warm water to make sure that it's clean. Okay, so I wash it with warm soapy water and then I clean it with the tea tree water. I like run it through because you're sticking this directly in your rectum and you don't want anything to be on it or in it. You don't want to add, like the whole purpose of this is to detox and to support your liver and to really help things internally and like open up your flow and your pathways. And the last thing you're going to want to do is like accidentally introduce a pathogen or not clean it properly and have like issues with like later, right? This never happened to me. You don't have to worry too much about it. I'm just saying like don't be lazy and like not properly clean it and put it away wet and then there's mold and then you're putting mold in your butt. Like don't be silly. So you wash your kit. By the time you let your coffee cool and you create your space and you wash your hands and your machine and like I call it machine, your tubing, whatever, then you put that in there. You should be ready to go forth with the enema, okay? And this is when you're going to take your bag into your space and hook it on the towel rack. That's where I put mine. If you're gonna do it in your bathroom, I recommend doing it in the bathroom and staying close to the toilet. I've never done it in any area of the house. Like, I don't think people do that. I don't think it's safe to do that. I just don't recommend it. You're gonna wanna stay in the bathroom, okay, until you're done. You're gonna lie down. There's so much discrepancy with the position that you wanna be on. Some people say left side, right side, on your back, like, I've tried every position, but there's doctors who say all of the above. I find that on the right side, and it has been noted on the interwebs by doctors, that on the right side helps the flow to the liver. What I do is I hook my bag on there. I go get my solution in a big pitcher. I'll take it to the bathroom and pour it into my enema bag that's hanging on the towel rack. Here's why I do that. I'm a little bit paranoid about making unnecessary messes, and I have a fear of traveling down my carpeted hallway, light carpet hallway, with my enema bag and somehow it falling. It's very awkward. Enema, even if you get the bucket, which I'm gonna get soon because I just think that I've had this bag forever. I just want to get a bucket now. I'll post both below. Either way, they're very awkward to carry around when they're full of water. So you don't want to risk spilling it. I put it in my bathroom and then I take the solution and fill it. I take my pants and underwear off, lay down. So what you're gonna do is I squirt some fractionated coconut oil in my hand. I take the tube and I like roll the tube around so it's nice and lubricated. And then I take the leftover that's on my hand and I kind of go like this. And then I just massage it all over my rectum. Double lubrication is gonna make things go in a lot easier. One thing I will say is you have to relax your butthole. If you're tense and you try to put that tube in, it's not gonna feel good. You're gonna wanna breathe and like consciously relax your anus, and then you can it'll just slide right in, okay? And then you wanna keep it in there, it's about 2.5 inches probably. You're gonna put it in there. And then you're gonna take your clamp and open your clamp. I never go full force with the clamp, okay? I know everybody's different, but I don't know if there's if it's necessary to. So usually the clamp, you go halfway and it's like medium, and then you can go high. I always go in the middle, down the middle of the road to medium. So it's like not super weak little flow, because that'll take forever and I just don't have time for that. So it's medium, you can see your water going down at a decent rate, and you're making I've done it high and it's just it almost is like uncomfortable when it goes a little bit too fast of a flow. So just to be on the safe side, just do a medium flow. And sometimes even when you first get started, I think you're probably gonna have to do in between the low to a medium flow, okay? You're gonna wanna take all the water in. So in most cases it's a liter, 4 quarts. Yes, you're gonna wanna take it all in. You're gonna wanna relax and breathe. Give yourself a little tummy massage while you're doing your thing. If you feel crampy or uncomfortable during any point of this process, all you have to do is turn off the flow and breathe and relax. And you might feel the urge to go, and you have to remember to listen to your body, but also you have to be do I really have to go, or do I just need to lower the flow and breathe for a second? And in most cases, if you lower the flow and breathe, you can continue to okay, I feel better, and then turn the flow up a little bit and do it again. So taking the entire thing in, and then as long as you can stand it, hold it in. So 5 to 10 minutes, 15 minutes being optimal. And you're just gonna lay there and slowly breathe and relax, okay? Once you're done taking all the fluid in, you're gonna turn off the valve and set it down. And if you're laying on your right side, gently roll onto your back for 30 seconds. Breathe, and then gently and carefully and slowly roll over to your left side, and then breathe for 30 seconds. Then you're gonna wanna gently and carefully get on all fours. And this is just going to rotate in your barrel, right? If your body's a barrel, and make sure it's getting in there and the lining of all of the lower intestine. So you're gonna want to just gently rotate your body all the way around. And then when you're ready to expel or express, you sit on the toilet and then you go. And don't be afraid and don't be scared, and it'll come out the way that it wants to come out, the way that it needs to come out. And every time I do an enema, it's different. Sometimes it all comes out at once in the beginning. Sometimes it comes out a little bit and I stop, and then it comes out a little bit and I stop. And it's like not me. It's my body's doing the work. It's my body knowing what it's doing, and I'm letting it do what it has to do. You may have to use the restroom several times. Like I'm telling you, I have done a coffee enema where I've sat in the bathroom for like 15 minutes and it was like off and on, off and on, off and on. And then when it was like the last time, like I had like a little bit of a gurgly tummy and I just knew I wasn't done. And then the last time I like got everything out, and then I was like, my body feels great. I'm great. I'm good to go. You're not going to like have diarrhea all day long. You know what I mean? Like once you get it all out, you're done. Go about your business. It's all good in the hood. Trust. There's been times where I don't leave the bathroom because I know like I'm probably gonna have to go in like a couple more minutes. So I'll just get off the toilet and clean up. I always clean the toilet because a lot of times, like because it sprays coffee out, it could be like coffee sprinkles all over the toilet seat, and I'm not trying to have my husband deal with that. So I already will have like my spray cleaner and my paper towels, and I'll just like spray the toilet down and clean up everything, clean up my little bed section that I was laying down on. And like, then I'm like, oh, see, I have to go again. And I'll sit down and go again. But it's like a short, it's like 10 to 20 minutes, I think is the longest I've ever had to do that. And then I leave the restroom and I'm done. I'm done. You're done. You're done. Okay. So let's go over the tips. So you're going to want to make sure that you're hydrated. You're going to prepare your space and prepare your enema. Okay. Then you're going to want to wash your hands and your enema, especially the tubing. You have to get in there and clean it properly. You're going to want to make sure you grab your lube, lay down and insert your enema, hold the fluid in your rectum as long as possible, and then use the toilet and then clean up. Okay. So I hope this helped. I have created a little PDF. Definitely check that out. And I made it for you because I was something that I wish I would have had access to when I was searching and researching, because I would like in the beginning, I would lay down and get ready to do the enema. And I'm like, wait, am I doing this right? Let me check this. Let me check that. Let me go to this website. What did this girl say? What did this video say? Let me figure this out. It took a while for me to like trust myself and my memory of like, did I remember this correctly? Am I doing this right? Like, I was scared. So if you made it till the end, I want to share with you my tips that I do to give myself a little extra zhuzh, okay, and a little extra love when I'm doing this detoxification process for myself. To make it easier for me, I have 5 children. I usually wait until they all go to sleep before I do an enema. What I started doing was preparing the coffee the day before. So if I know I'm going to give myself a coffee enema tomorrow, I'll create the enema tonight. That means I boil it for 30 minutes and then I strain it and put it in the refrigerator so that tomorrow I should just gently heat it up and then it'll be ready to go. So that part just is eliminated when I do that tomorrow. Another thing that I do is, I mentioned I put essential oils on. I have absolutely put my diffuser in the bathroom and diffused my favorite oils to like calm my senses. I actually started to instead put them directly on my body. So I put some on my pulse points, my wrists, my neck, but specifically what I felt like I passed the most parasites. I can do some coffee enema parasite videos if you want me to. 80% of us have parasites. Like, don't even act like just because you live in the US, you don't. It's not a third world country situation, okay? And especially if you're drinking tap water, like, please don't. Like, let's have a whole conversation about water. Don't drink tap water. Like, I know people are like, oh, but it's treated with fluoride. Yeah, that's one of the many reasons why you shouldn't. If you are having digestive issues, first of all, if you're having any type of digestive issues or chronic issues, you should always go talk to your doctor before you do an enema. Just know if it's like mainstream Western medicine doctor, they're probably gonna talk you out of it and tell you that you might die, right? Because that's what they do. Digestion directly on the tummy. It helps to minimize cramping. You don't always get cramping when you do an enema, but you can if you do like too heavy of a flow, or if sometimes you have to sit on the toilet and release and then finish taking the fluid. Like sometimes that's a thing. And so if that is the case with you, if you're finding that that's what you're dealing with, I highly recommend putting the digestion on like right before you're starting to prepare, and then again right before you lay down, just to get this is all things digestive. Okay, so this is very supportive to the entire digestive system. So what I did the last few coffee enemas that I did, actually I did a saltwater one too. I used specific oils for detoxification on one of them, and then one of them I used parasite oils to help with parasites. And so one of the ways that I used it recently, I put tea tree oil all over my stomach, and then I took a capsule of oregano oil internally, and I did that about 20 minutes before my enema. And I'm telling you, like, the release was amazing. Like, I remember feeling so cleansed, and I'm like, did me using those oils first like really make that big of a difference? Like, I feel like it did. So then the next time I did it, I took some oils again, different ones, but I was like taking a capsule internally. I think the second time I did clove oil internally, and then I used tea tree oil directly on my stomach. Another way that I make it special is I tailor it to what I'm trying to address. Okay, so depending on what outcome I'm trying to get from my enema experience, I use oils accordingly. A lot of the times I will read. I either take a book in there, and behind that mirror I have several books. I'll just grab a book from there and take it into my room. Sometimes if I'm really into a podcast or an Audible book that I have, I'll just take my phone and listen that way. And I'm going to have links below on the enema kit that I buy, on the coffee that I buy, everything down below. I even made you steps to give yourself an enema list on a PDF, so you can screenshot it, save it to your phone, print it out, whatever you want to do, so that way you don't have to like freak out every time it's time to give yourself an enema. You just have that little thing, you pull it up on your phone, or you pull out your printable, and you could be like, here we go, I'm going to do this step by step. Okay, I'm doing that for you because I searched so far and wide and got information from all over the interwebs before I felt confident in doing it myself. So I'm going to make a one-stop shop for you to have all things enema info. I'm not a doctor. I'm not giving medical advice. I'm simply sharing things that have blessed my life, that I've tried, that have helped my health greatly. So that's why I'm here talking to you about that today.